Hello, dear learners. In this section, we will demonstrate Python language syntax for using classes and objects. The previous video explains the concept of classes and to implement in our Python programs. Put in your mind that classes can be used in various ways. And they are not used only for organizing the code, but also they are made to support various features as a part of object-oriented programming. The concept classes doesn't end at this point. It is just the start point in your learning. So, let's briefly see how to create classes and objects. One of the class features to enable programmer to simulate real-life domain in the programming environment. In the real-life environment, everything is presented as object. The college, student, teacher, chair, fan, room, class and all other entities. And to encapsulate data and functions related to specific objects into a class container, we can easily define a new type via the class. A class is the blueprint to describe data and functionality. Consider the following scenario. A system to calculate employee salary based on working hours rates and print employee ID, name and salary. To analyze this scenario, highlight the nouns in the phrase and the verbs. Usually verbs indicate functionality. In our case, verbs are calculate and print. It means we have to write functions for each of these functions. And the nouns indicate attributes or variables or data to describe. Our core item is the employee. So, we will create a class for the employee with the following data members or variables: ID, name, working hours, rate and salary. And two functions: calculate salary and print data. To create a class, use the keyword class, followed by the class identifier you define for your code. The self parameter is a reference to the current instance of the class and is used to access variables that belong to the class. In our case, the 4 variables. To make it more clear, let's create 2 employees. Class objects support 2 kinds of operations: attribute references and instantiation. One way is to simply assign our object variable name to the class name. emp1 is equal to employee. emp2 is equal to employee. Here, we created 2 employees. This parameter will access individual copies of all data members for each object. Now, to assign values to our employees, we use the dot operator. In this way. And to call the member function, we do the same. Class definitions, like function definitions, definite statements, must be executed before they have any effect. Hope this part is clear. Object values can be assigned in many ways. First is using the dot operator as explained previously. The other way, which more common and considered as best practice, is to use the init constructor function. Use the __init__ function to assign values to object values when the object is being created. And to create object, we pass our data directly to the class name. While object creation, note that the init function is called automatically every time when a new object is created from the class.